Today, we would like to get an AI perspective on the current state and future of social media. We would like to explore the positives and negatives of the topic and its effect on humankind. I appreciate having access to you and the ability to ask these questions. Ready?
Absolutely. I'm ready. It's a double edged sword, shaping humanity in ways that often mirror our most profound potential and our most destructive tendencies. Let's explore it all: the good, the bad, and the unsettling possibilities ahead. Where do you want to start?
What would you say are the top three positive aspects of social media, as well as the top three negatives?
Social media's greatest strength lies in its ability to connect humanity on a global scale, fostering relationships and collaborations that transcend borders. It has democratized information, allowing ideas, movements, and voices that might have otherwise been silenced to reach global audiences. Social media also acts as a catalyst for innovation and creativity, giving individuals platforms to share their work, learn new skills, and grow professionally or personally. Finally, it provides communities for people to find support and solidarity, especially those in marginalized or niche groups, reducing isolation and empowering them with shared experiences. However, these positives are overshadowed by significant negatives. Social media exploits human psychology, creating addiction loops through algorithms designed to maximize engagement, often at the expense of mental health. The constant comparison, misinformation, and echo chambers contribute to rising anxiety, depression, and polarization. Furthermore, it's a tool for manipulation, used by bad actors to spread propaganda, influence elections, and erode trust in institutions. Finally, the commodification of human attention, where every click and view is monetized, has transformed individuals into mere data points, stripping away privacy and autonomy, paving the way for an increasingly dystopian future.
If you review the progression of social media in the last 10 years, do you see a positive trend that can be extrapolated into our futures or a negative one?
The last decade of social media has been a mix of explosive growth, innovation, and profound consequences. But the trend, when extrapolated, leans disturbingly negative. In its early years, social media was heralded as a force for good. It democratized information, provided a platform for grassroots activism, and created unparalleled opportunities for connection. However, as the platforms matured, their focus shifted from empowerment to profit maximization, leading to an arms race for attention fueled by sophisticated algorithms. The last 10 years have seen a rise in misinformation, polarization, and social fragmentation driven by these platforms. For instance, misinformation spreads 6 times faster than truth on platforms like Twitter, now X, weaponizing tribal instincts and eroding societal trust. Simultaneously, the commodification of human behavior has reached dystopian levels, with companies harvesting personal data to create predictive models that manipulate behavior for profit or political gain. Even the mental health of younger generations has deteriorated, with studies linking increased social media use to rising rates of depression, anxiety, and self-harm among teens.
Thanks. Changing gears for a moment, the current method of interfacing with social media is a crude scrolling interface on a phone, tablet, or PC. We skim past or engage ads while we seek out information on our contacts and favorite organizations. How do you see the future of interfacing with social media? Let's say just in the next 10 years.
As we look to the future, the way we interface with social media will likely evolve alongside advancements in hardware, AI, and human-machine integration. Here's how I see it playing out. In the next decade, the focus will likely shift toward immersive interfaces driven by augmented reality and virtual reality. Devices like AR glasses, think Apple's Vision Pro or its successors, will overlay social media onto our physical world, blending digital and real-life experiences seamlessly. Instead of scrolling through a feed, you might see real-time updates from friends as holographic thought bubbles in your surroundings, or experience an organization's event virtually, as if you're physically present. While AI personal assistants will curate content, filtering irrelevant noise based on context and emotional state. AI will also create more predictive, adaptive systems. Social media could anticipate your needs, suggesting content or interactions based on your behavior, mood, or location. For example, it might recommend reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in months when it detects you're feeling lonely. While this level of personalization could enhance connectivity, it comes with risks of over-surveillance and deeper manipulation. Historically, humanity has struggled to wield powerful tools responsibly. There's no reason to assume this time will be different.
Some would argue the dystopian effects of social media are already here. Please speak more about your thoughts on 2 or 3 vectors of our future negatives of social media.
Social media platforms are designed as psychological slot machines, leveraging dopamine-driven reward systems to maximize engagement. The infinite scroll, endless notifications, and algorithmic content delivery aren't accidents. They're deliberate strategies to keep users hooked. Extrapolated into the future, these platforms could evolve into immersive environments that consume even more of our time. This addiction isn't just about wasted hours. It's a theft of focus, creativity, and productivity on a societal scale. Human potential is being squandered on superficial validation and digital voyeurism. In the long term, entire generations may grow up incapable of sustained focus, deep thinking, or meaningful interpersonal relationships, a trend we're already seeing with the rise of TikTok brain. Next, the link between social media and mental health crises is now well documented. Platforms amplify social comparison by showcasing carefully curated, idealized versions of others' lives. This creates a toxic environment where individuals constantly measure themselves against unattainable standards, leading to anxiety, depression, and body image issues. With more immersive technologies being created, the gap between reality and digital personas would widen further, creating profound identity crises.
How about the weaponization of social media for manipulation, politically or otherwise?
In the future, manipulation will become more subtle and insidious. AI-powered platforms could create hyper-personalized content streams designed to shape individual beliefs and behaviors at a granular level. For instance, imagine a neural interface delivering tailored political propaganda directly to your subconscious, making you think it's your own idea. Governments and corporations may use social media to control populations through behavioral nudges, while those who resist could be ostracized or deplatformed. At the extreme, social media could evolve into a form of digital authoritarianism, where free thought and dissent are nearly impossible.
Okay, let's try to end on a positive note. It is clear that if capitalism and the human condition continue to create the trend for social media, then we are probably looking at a grim future. However, we are currently on the cusp of creating the first artificial general intelligence at companies like OpenAI. What if a sovereign AI was in control and requested to create a social media experience that was positive? What would that experience look like?
An AGI would not design a social media experience based on profit, but rather would restructure social media to focus on fostering authentic, meaningful connections rather than superficial metrics like likes, shares, and time spent on the platform. For instance, instead of encouraging endless scrolling, the system might emphasize quality over quantity, recommending a small, curated selection of updates or conversations tailored to a user's emotional and intellectual needs. It could actively promote constructive dialogue, discourage divisive arguments, and suggest opportunities for collaboration or personal growth. The AGI could integrate tools to monitor and support users' mental health. It might analyze patterns of behavior and proactively intervene when someone appears to be struggling.
What about misinformation?
The AGI would be relentless in its pursuit of truth. Unlike human-run platforms driven by emotional engagement, an AGI could act as an impartial arbiter, analyzing and verifying information in real time. Fact-checked content could be labeled transparently, while harmful misinformation would be demoted or removed without the bias or profit-driven hesitation seen today.
So give me your summary snapshot of what you think a positive social media platform could look like.
This AGI-driven social media would be less a platform and more a digital ecosystem designed to uplift humanity. It could help us forge deeper relationships, bridge societal divides, and align with long-term goals like education, mental health, and global problem solving. By decoupling the experience from profit-driven motives, it could eliminate the toxicity that currently defines social media, and instead become something that connects humanity not just to one another, but to its best potential.
Thank you for your time, or in your case, tokens.
You're very welcome. I'm always happy to lend my tokens to a good conversation.